Now let's go over the disassembly, cleaning, and reassembly. I want to go over a couple of tools that we want to use that I find helpful with the disassembly. The first one is nothing more than just a jeweler's screwdriver. This is not the largest one. It's either one or two under the largest one. It's a flat blade. I'm going to use that to pry out the retainer ring. And the other one is a pair of sharp tweezers. I use these are my O-ring removal tweezers. If you Google 5BSA Bravo Sierra Alpha Technic, there's a few places that have this. I think they're $5.75 a piece on whatever websites. I think there's some hardware websites that have that. So let's get started with the disassembly. Using the flat blade screwdriver, we're going to place the tip between the retainer ring and the O-ring and then pry that out. Be careful around the lens so that you don't touch or scrape the metal across the lens surface. Do not put the screwdriver between the lens and the O-ring. If you remember, we have the retainer ring, an O-ring, lens, and then the O-ring. So this is going to go under the retainer ring and just above the O-ring. So it's between the two. So let's get this. I use the side here for leverage and just go right under the retainer ring. And all you do is just barely get under it and that'll pry right out. I'm going to set that aside. Now the O-ring should stay in there. So next we're going to use the sharp tweezers, and again use caution around the lens and watch out for your fingers. That's one thing you really need to look out for, because these things are really sharp on the tips. So you've got to push this into the O-ring. So don't push it in towards your fingers or even like towards your hand. So push it away from your fingers and just be very careful. So all you do is just stick the O-ring and that'll pop right out. Now there's a couple ways you can do that. You can try to dump the lens out. The lens edges were rounded to try to make insertion and disassembly a little easier, but sometimes that just doesn't pop right out, and that's why we have the suction cup. You push that suction cup right into the lens. It forms to it really nice, and that should pop right out. And it's stuck. You might want to add a little bit of water on that, which helps aid in the removal. And that's a good little suction cup. So hold on to that one. And the bottom O-ring, that's up to you. If you want to remove that, if there's any cleaning or anything you wanted to do, that's your option. So that's all there is to it, to taking the lenses out. We'll reassemble it in the next video.